The Jay Show.
So welcome to the Jay Show after the show. We're talking about things that have come up in our head, come to mind after we've gotten off the air. We just want to get it off our chest right now. We talked about a lot of really cool topics today, including the fact that, according to the Red Eye, people are leaving Chicago in record numbers. It's like a mass exodus of our city. Since 2010, 80,000 people have left Chicago. Now, according to the Red Eye, births have not sustained the amount of people leaving, meaning that more people are fleeing Chicago than any other city in the United States.
Sad face.
Yeah, well, they're not even taking into consideration people that have died either. So you're like 80,000 people that just left.
And deaths.
And deaths.
Which is we're a death capital of the world,
I
lately.
bet you if you looked at that, they would say that more people were leaving during the winter than the summer. Because
for sure.
summertime shy, I mean.
The best. Are you
literally
kidding?
the best.
It is. It's the best time of year. But they're saying why? So because, right, the births and the deaths thing, okay.
Because the weather. They said the weather.
weather.
A lot of people are saying that they've had it with the cold, dreary weather, and they're leaving for cities like, states like Florida, Arizona, Nevada, with warmer cities in them. But those states don't have like an economy or like a job market like Chicago does. That's what confuses me. I mean, I used to live in Florida. I mean, the job market down there, it's like, it's really slow.
You just said you used to live down there. So you lived in New York, you lived in Florida, and then you bounced back up to Chicago.
I lived in D.C. for
you
a while.
lived in Ohio.
So
Yeah.
So what do you think? I mean, is it really worth it to go down there to where it's hot?
It really depends on what you're looking for. Like, you don't have as many things. I mean, listen, it sounds so glamorous to say, oh, I live in Miami or the Miami area. But really, once you leave South Beach, I mean, downtown Miami really there's nothing going on down there except American Airlines Arena and like the Gloria Estefan restaurant Bongos.
I know, and I've been there.
Besides those two
So-
things, the city of downtown Miami is not a place to really hang out.
I've been there too. Yeah, it's okay. I went to the Dash store there.
It
was cool.
Shelly, it's empty.
Yeah, it's empty. So it must literally be the weather. People are just going there for the warm.
So
the warmth,
would we ever see
right?
Showbiz Shelly living in LA?
No. I love Chicago. I love me my Chicago. Never. Because for me, around the holiday time, like also one of the best times is summer, but fall is my favorite. I love that time of year when it's a little bit crispy, kind of cool, a little chilly outside.
Well, I think you bring up a good point. It's about the seasons. I mean, that's something that you can get in Chicago that you can't necessarily get in Arizona. Like the way it changes, the way you can see the leaves, summertime shy, a little bit of winter.
Well, Gabe, for 80,000 people, those seasons don't mean jack.
I don't care at all.
They're gone, man. I mean, they're out. And it's just funny to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if you're going to leave Chicago, I'm a city guy, so I like cities. I like feeling like I'm in the mix. I like feeling like I'm in the know. I like museums. I love parks. I love all those things. So I feel like if you're gonna leave Chicago, you got to go bigger for me. And like I'm never gonna leave Chicago to go smaller. That's just me personally.
Makes
yeah.
sense.
But for a lot of people, one thing, we don't have kids. So,
yeah,
all,
Kidless morning show right here.
all the city life and stuff, when you're looking for schools and stuff, I mean, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But a lot of people moving for warm weather in suburbs and other states.
Well, the good news is that means less traffic, right?
Yeah.
Less traffic, not
hi-
as many people.
I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it, but one can dream.
Yeah.
One can dream. Now, did you ever dream that they would say that Miley Cyrus was a music icon? Those words were used this morning. Who said the word?
Shelly squinches.
Who said the word icon? Who said the word icon, Gabe?
It was in the commercial for The Voice.
Yes.
They said music icon Miley Cyrus.
Mhm.
Well, they need people to watch, right? So they're
Is
going to go big or go home, I guess.
Which, Gabe and I got into a discussion after the show. We said, what does it mean to be an
Well, that's
icon?
the thing. What's the definition here, really?
Well, how would you decide? I mean, you're around celebrities and talking about them all
Yeah.
day. Well, who are the icons?
I mean, I would say Madonna is an icon.
What makes a Madonna icon?
I think that she's just so widely known, and there's certain things that you just think of when you think of certain things. You think of Madonna, right? Like Vogue, or like like there's certain things you attribute to her that are just iconic. And I guess with the same thing probably with Lady Gaga.
Well, when I think of Miley Cyrus, I think about Wrecking Balls, Naked Swing. I mean, that's
in that sense, I think she, I guess, would be an icon.
that was iconic, wasn't it? I mean, when her licking the sledgehammer, that comes to mind.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
guess
does
you're
that
right.
is that
My
not
thing,
iconic?
what I told Jay was that I felt like we're forcing that label onto people too soon. Where maybe Miley in 10 years or 15, she might be able to be called an icon, but it's like she's still alive. She's only 23, you said, right? And it's like, so to say she's an icon at that young of an age, I don't know. That just makes me feel a certain type of way because I said Michael Jackson, Or no, we said Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston.
She never got an icon award, you know. and so before she passed, had she been around right now, I'm sure she would have had 2 or 3 of them.
But what I brought up was the fact that I think it's like there's an economic model here where it's like supply and demand. The supply is very high. You know what I mean? Like the market is flooded with all these musicians right now, so it's like, you know, it's harder to distinguish icons or not because there's just so much activity.
Okay, let's see. So here's a definition of icon: a widely known symbol. Okay.
Okay.
So
is Miley Cyrus a symbol of something? Like Madonna was a
twerking.
Of twerking,
She is
yeah.
a symbol of. If you think about twerking, I mean, she was right there with that. She I don't want to say created that, but she popularized the whole twerking thing.
She did.
She became known for her whole twerk image.
Yeah.
Which is weird to
All right, I
even
take
say.
it back. Miley Cyrus is an
Well,
icon.
I feel like now people are doing things that are so extreme. Whereas, to your point, to people who are older, I feel like they needed their entire lifespan to do something that was really noteworthy. Where now people are just like going so hard. It's like you could be an icon at 25,
That's a
whatever
good point,
it is.
Because with social media, you're
Yeah.
right. If something like that
go
happens,
super
everyone will know
viral.
about it immediately.
Yeah.
Whereas back then, you needed 2 or 3 albums to
I
get
think
that
I think
status.
in 2016 you hit iconic status when your fans have like a name. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, when like for
Robotics.
like the Smilers, those are the Miley
Ah.
fans, the Rihanna Navy,
The little monsters.
the Little Monsters. You know, when you have a group of people who aren't just a fan club, but they have a title, I think you're close to iconic status.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting measure because back when we had our icons, there was no such thing.
What would you say Michael Jackson's fans would have been called back in the day if they
The
had to-
Jackos.
Whoa.
Or the Jackoffs.
Okay.
That would have been really
Weird.
offensive. Or I don't know. What would they call them? Who knows? Who knows? But it's a different time and a different situation right now. And we are all adults in this room. And I experienced something this weekend. Yeah, whatever. We're adults. I experienced something this weekend at the Empire State Building in New York. I was up at the observation deck. And I saw a man and his wife and his 2 kids looking out the window at the 102nd floor. But the husband was deathly afraid. Like the dude was I've never seen a man display this public fear like this in really many situations, which really reminded me that, you know, as grown as we are, from some as manly as we are, we all have fears that we just can't even reckon with. I mean, this man was deathly afraid of heights and couldn't hide it.
It's very funny to me because you're going to the Empire State, but was it like a surprise when he got out
know,
there? Like,
right?
oh God, whoa.
Crazy, right?
What is this up here?
I feel like they had to have forced him up there because, all right, we're taking the elevator up. And when we were in the elevator, he was literally holding the wall like this. And then when
poor
we got to the
guy.
102nd floor, they had to push him out of the elevator.
Like physically push him out.
Physically push him out. And when he got out, like he stumbled, the door closed, and then he was just like holding on to like a beam.
What was his wife doing? Nothing. She just was like laughing.
She
or-
ignored him. She, with the kids, just started walking around looking out the window.
Ignored him.
Yeah, it was crazy. And like I wanted to talk to him. He looked like he was either going to scream or cry or both.
Oh, poor
Bad for the
guy.
guy.
So
you were just there, and were you laughing at him too? Or?
I was kind of like, wow, this is so interesting to watch. I was like, what are you really afraid of? Like, even, all right, listen, no one wants to fall out 102 stories.
Sure, of course not.
But I feel confident in the structure of this building that as high as I may be, I can look out the window and I'm not going to fall out
This
of it.
man would never make it on the sky deck or that tilt thing
Never.
or
Or
the
at
Hancock.
B96 Studios.
Or-
We're surrounded by
Yeah.
windows right
Never.
here. I'd be like, oh no.
ever.
Never.
But then it got us to talking about our fears. You had a couple, actually, which I forgot
I got this
about.
crazy irrational fear, which I guess I can't look at this guy very strangely because I'm really, really afraid. All right, so you know those mosaic tiles like on the floor?
This is
Sure,
so
in the
weird.
bathroom.
You know those showers with the little small tiles, like the ones that are tiny? Those give me the heaves, like
What
real
about
bad.
I have my backsplash on my kitchen that's a little
I
teeny.
hate those.
Freaks you out.
I don't
Why?
like those. It's something about just the grout.
Is it the way your feet feel on the tiles
Yeah,
themselves?
it's just it's the look and the feel of it. I don't like little tiles. When I bought my condo, the first thing I did a beeline straight to the bathroom and looked at the bathroom, made sure I had large tiles, big, large squares. And
Wow.
if I have that, then that makes me feel comfortable. But the small tiles really just
Also, one of
gross
my
to me.
favorite ways to torture Jay is to rub together 2 pieces of
It's
styrofoam.
my favorite sound actually in the world.
is
And it
the-
freaks
I don't
him
know
out.
what it
It's my
is.
favorite.
It's like that is my kryptonite.
Do you guys remember when we did Face Your Fear Fridays? That was funny. Every Friday in the month of October, each one of us faced our fear. Jay's was snakes, right?
Yes.
Shelly's was spiders.
Yeah,
Mine was the fear of heights, jumping on a thing.
yeah.
But it's funny because I was up there in the sky, but I hate looking at it.
Mm.
I hate looking at the stars.
Yeah, you're freaked
to
out
me,
by the
Yeah,
that's-
you jumped out of it.
sky.
You skydived.
I did do that, but I mean, like just the at nighttime, I hate looking up. It just seems weird to me.
I don't know. I still haven't gotten to the bottom of this.
It's the Truman Show effect, man. I feel like we're in a bubble. I'm like, what is this in the sky that's supposedly millions and millions of miles away that I can't really see at
The
all?
sky is so cool, though.
Can you believe this man lives on Earth
Right,
and is
yeah.
afraid of looking up into
Have
the
you ever
sky?
have you ever seen a
Weird.
star up close?
No.
Exactly. That's my point, man.
What do
There's
you
always like
mean?
creepy stuff out there.
What's like creepy about that?
Shells,
It's a
the
star.
silliest thing you're afraid of.
Probably, I realized it as we were talking about it this morning. Those sinkholes, like when those sinkholes happen,
Yeah.
when the cars fall in and stuff, that freaks me out. It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Like a black hole on Earth.
Kind of. You know when you see them on the news, like the ground just falls and
it's
it's like,
weird.
"Ah!" It gives me this feeling in my back.
But
I don't know what
it
is.
almost never happens. I mean, like the majority of the Earth is without sinkholes. You know what I mean?
know,
Like,
but it just gives me this really weird feeling.
Should we tell the people listening right now to look up that one word that we all got scared of today?
dude.
Which
All right,
one?
we can tell them the word, but I swear to you, once
Oh.
once you see this thing, you cannot unsee
It's
it.
so creepy.
God, it's so
All right,
creepy.
tell them the word, Gabe.
The word is trypophobia. TRYP and then just phobia will come out in the rest.
Trypophobia.
Trypophobia.
Trypophobia is the fear of tiny holes.
And it's like, oh, what's the big deal? But then you look at the pictures
And then you're
it's
like,
like,
I'm getting goosebumps right now.
When you
I'm
see the
legit getting
pictures of these
goosebumps.
little holes in various arrangements,
man.
oh, that's starting to make
Look,
me
all
itch
three of us
right
are
now.
itchy.
I know, it's very gross.
All right, let's change the subject.
And
I'm sorry I
and
brought it
it's-
up.
I don't know what makes it happen, but it's something about the way the human brain works. These little holes, they almost look like honeycombs.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm out.
Gross.
I'm out.
Gross.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up, Jay.
Wrap it up.
All right. Well, check it out. Let us know what you think, what you're afraid of, and how you feel if you're leaving Chicago, and if who you think is an icon that doesn't deserve it. All that stuff. Everything we talked about. Let's talk about it at J Show Chicago on all social media.
The J Show.